That's a wrap on week 1, and we got all the highlights for you.
And I got week 2 headlines for you.
And I'm breaking down this dominant defense.
And just like FedEx Field, I'm fired up.
All that and more starting right now. Welcome Commanders family into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders.
Nothing like the first Sunday of the NFL season. Welcome back to football in 2023. Stop it, throw it to the end zone for Robinson, and a touchdown. Submarined by Derek Forrest. I don't think we felt a buzz in Washington like this in about a decade. Dobbs hit as he throws, ball is out, Commanders have it, it's Payne on top of it, it was knocked out by Sweat. It's Howe, on the move, tie game, touchdown! But after all that, the new era of Commander football begins with a win in Landover.
Brian Cooper Jr. here with Santana, Logan Paulson, and Fred Smoot. Now, we just saw Defoe do that backflip.
Yeah.
Now, Fred, you look like you still in shape. I feel like you can do one for us right now, right?
I did one in church the other day.
that's all we get.
I just went flipping down.
Well, Fred felt the spirit. You know what? I felt the spirit in week 1. Give us y'all initial thoughts. Santana,
Well, it's always good to come out and get a win, and especially when you don't feel like you played your best. Yeah. Offensively, they didn't play their best, but we got the W.
Yeah, I totally agree with Santana, but also the fans, man. Yeah. The fans were out there. I haven't seen FedEx like that in such a long time. It was great to see that.
Good energy, good chi, and just to see the fan base back together. A lot of people that haven't been here in so long, it was good to see them, and it was good for John Allen, Terry McLaurin, for them to see what FedEx Field really is
the
about.
Celebrities were there too.
Oh, yes, they were. Everybody was there.
And you talk about those playmakers, well, we got some ice cold highlights for y'all to check out.
What's colder than cold?
Ice cold! It's time for Ice Cold Moments, presented by Steam Fitters. Steam Fitter UA Local 602 provides the highest level HVAC and mechanical piping services. And fellas, you know for the highlights, we had to start off with that man Sam House cutting them boys up.
Love this play, man. What do you say about this play? This is what it is to be a quarterback in 2023, right? The mobility, the escapability, the arm angle, everything, right?
That's special right there. Let him Pat Mahomes right there.
Little improv and finding the open guy. I love it.
And you talk about Pat Mahomes, well, you know what? He's not the only quarterback that can run the football. No doubt. Sam Howell got us a rushing touchdown and a big one at that.
The one thing that's sneaky about him, he's sneaky athletic. Yeah. He's way more athletic than people is, and he's faster than people think he is too.
I just love it how he composed himself, came together, and got us the dub. He said, hey, I had a bad first half, but I'm going to finish this game out the right way.
Love that. And when do you stop calling people sneaky athletic, Fred?
When they show the world that they are. What is this?
Well, we know somebody that's not sneaky athletic, and it's Fred's boy, Emmanuel Forbes Jr. made a huge play for us on 4th down to really seal the game for us.
The only thing he could do better was catch the ball right there. To really be that icing on the cake to send that Arizona Cardinals out of there. Hey, that's my dog.
And that wasn't a bad route by Wilson, right? Out inside Sam, and he just did a great job sticking with the whole time. Matched that double stick at the top. And almost made that play.
That guy can flat out cover, man. Yeah. You know, I watched him run the route for the corner. Run the route for the receiver. And like Fred said, if he comes down with that, that's the way to start the season off. But I'm glad that he was still there to make the play.
And as y'all pointed out, it didn't lead to a turnover.
Yeah.
But we do got a play that did lead into a turnover. Our big man, Deron Payne.
Sweat got the ball out right there. That's great. Love that. He got the ball out there. He also got the ball out against Joshua Dobbs on that sack. We're going to go break that down real quick. All right, guys, everyone talks about how good this defense is, and it's great. But I thought I saw something in a 3-play sequence that said defense went from good to great, or they're ready to go to great, right? So let's talk about this. This is this duo play. Everyone talks about it. Double team. We're working to the backers, right? It's got good angles here. This is what you want. This is the front you want to run this to. But sometimes, even if it's the best look, right, Fred?
Yeah.
You got a dog in here.
Yeah.
A dog.
Definitely.
A dog.
And I talked to that dog, and he told me they was double teaming me. I had to make a play, and I'm gonna take a pass rush move while it's a run play, and I'm gonna get in the backfield.
I mean, And so he said that to you, right? But this feels like he's got some Jedi mind tricks going on here. Check your boy out, man. Like I don't know how you escape that.
Yes.
Because this tackle has a really good angle on you, right?
Yeah.
So first off, great job escaping this, get out of here, and then getting back in your lane. Because look at this A gap, right?
Yes.
Tan, you see this A gap right here?
Stacking your guy right there, man.
This is here, right?
Yeah. It's open.
If I'm the O-line coach, I'm saying this is good. We want him to vacate because we got hats, right? Boom, boom. We're where we want. But like you said, Tanner, what we doing?
Stacking your guy.
Stacking the gap, get back in there. It's like a receiver, right?
Yes, it is.
Get in there, cover that guy up, make the tackle for loss. That's -5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 15 now, right? Okay, so they're going to come back. They're going to run this like weird quarterback influence. What they're going to do here is they're going to have this guy vacate. They're going to read this player here. Very, very complicated. They're going to pull this guy on the backside and lead up for Jamin, right? So they get an extra hat because they're reading with the quarterback, right? But sometimes, man, when you got dogs, you got dogs.
I'm sorry. Like some people win the matchup.
Some people win the matchup. So what they're going to do here on the backside of Power, he's going to block out, he's going to block down and feather back to the defensive end. But John says, no, I don't think you're going to do that, boys.
No,
I'm just going to come in here and make a play. Check me out. What's up? I'm going to split that. Great job by James Smith-Williams also here. We've got to highlight him too. He knows he's the read man. Don't hesitate. Go get the quarterback, right?
And it's so fun to see somebody 280 pounds get skinny.
I mean,
he gets skinny in the gap.
Give that man his credit, man. This dude's like 300 pounds right here, man.
That's what I'm telling you.
He's a skinny 300 right here. Gets through there, and then James is right there. But you see that physicality.
Yes.
That's a dominant group up front.
Yeah,
it just says, man, we can take over a game whenever we want.
And they pick their times to make these plays. And like Payne told me, we work together, but we give each other goals. He be like, "This is you. I got your back. I do the grunt work. You go make the play."
So love that. Love that they're being really aggressive there. And then that sets up. So what are they in now? They're in like 3rd and 20. Okay. So obviously this is the Montez Sweat sack here, but this sack happens also because of coverage, right?
Because of the back end.
Yeah. So they're in like this quarters coverage here. They're going to drop back out. Remember, like in Madden, you get the four spots here. Flat, hook, flat like that, right? So great job here. Watch them kind of match this concept, right? Everyone's in good relationship. There's no throwing windows. Love to see it. Good relationship here to the receiver. And then that allows Sweat to have an excellent pass rush, right? And get home where he's got to. Fred, what do you think about this coverage?
That's the relationship between the front end and the back end right here, working together to make plays. Quarterback has nowhere to go. Sticky coverage, right here. You're not going to throw over this hump no matter what. So at the end of the day, now.
And even if you were to throw over it, Fred, look at this. Look at his right eyes. He's looking to the 3x1. He's matched up in a good spot. And this is your guy, Forbes. He's a dog, too. He's in tight, sticky coverage and allows the other dog to go get him. Go get him. What you got, Tiana?
That's one of the things I always talk about. When you have a front like those guys, no matter what coverage they really in, you don't have the time. So if you just there, if you just showing that my presence is here, if that quarterback was free, he's still wrong.
Most definitely. Can't make the throw. You got to throw it out of bounds if you're smart.
Absolutely. And our guy, one thing I love about Montez, he's not the most polished pass rusher. But when you're a freak, man, when you run a 4.4, when you're 6'6", when you're 265, and you got 36-inch arms, like you can do this. Bull, rip, get in here nice and tight, and finish that rush with that long arm. Punch that ball out, and that's how you make plays, man.
This is what he's doing. He's going after the ball now. Usually he was going after the quarterback. Now he's going after the ball.
I was so happy to see him make those two plays because you remember last year how close he was getting. He was getting so close in so many different games. So to see him start his season off like that, you know what we're talking about.
I'm talking about
getting paid.
That's
right.
You know it.
Ain't nothing like motivation like the money bag.
So on this sequence, that drive started at the 40, right? They started right here. They started at the 40-yard line. They finished at the 50 with the ball. Essentially, their defense became the offense. 7 plays later, man, you get your guy Sam Howell over here running in for a touchdown. That is how your defense supports your offense. And that is them taking over a game, right? Because this is a go-ahead score here, right?
And that's important with a young quarterback. Give him short fields. Give him an advantage, but by Sam understanding the coverage matches our play. I just got to go make some plays with my leg.
Make some plays with your legs.
And this is some of the things you want to see him do in the open field too. When you're not in the red zone, because there's a few times where he wanted to make that throw, but when it's not there, just run.
And that's why I'm so excited to see what this defense can do against.
Forget all this. Forget all time, man. Let me tell you what I'm fired up about. I'm fired up about that fan base with that FedEx field. Thank you for letting the players see see that, we feel that. I
Yes.
can cut it with a knife. But I'm really fired up about this defense. They should put a beware of dog sign out right in front of the field. Because Montez was loose, he bit somebody. Emmanuel Ford was loose, he bit somebody. The rest of that defense, John Allen, bit somebody. So I can't wait to see what they do in Denver this week.
Yes.
Presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of your Washington Commanders.
Now, Fred got this whole studio hot, so I'm gonna let these fellas calm down while we break down our Week 2 matchup against the Denver Broncos. Now let's take a look at this game day guide brought to you by SeatGeek, your ticket to great Commander seats. The Commanders are hitting the road for the first time this season. Our squad is headed to Mile High to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Kickoff time is at 4:25 p.m. Now, you can also tune into Game Day Live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss, and myself will be bringing you all things Commanders with our pregame coverage. And after the game, be sure to stick with us. We'll be doing post-game live. It'll be myself, B. Mitch, and breakdown guru, Logan Paulson. Now, fellas, now that we got that out the way, you know what I'm saying? Look, you got your game show face on, you know what I'm saying? All right. So I want to break down this Mile High matchup, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to have some fun with it, right? I'm going to give you guys a statement, and y'all going to tell me if it's high or low. Now let's take a look at the headlines presented by the Washington Times.
Okay. All right.
Easy enough, right? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I wish I had the little stick mic. I think good to go. All right, so the first one, we're going to start and just go down the line.
All right, I got you.
All right. So our Commanders defense will get 2 sacks again this game.
I'm going up. I'm going more than 2 sacks.
You're saying that's low.
No, I'm saying it's low.
Yes.
Because I think Russell Wilson, the way he moves around the pocket, his offensive line lose him, and you got a dog out there like Sweat, they're going to bite somebody, and the rest of these dudes, I'm going 4 or 5 sacks, so I'm going over.
4 or 5 sacks.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you because I think that when you look at this offense, you look at what Sean Payton's doing, it's this Joe Lombardi, it's super conservative. They're running the ball, they're doing all this play action, all this quick game. There's not enough time to get to the quarterback. Max Crosby was maybe one of the most dynamic rushers in the NFL. He didn't have any sacks in the last game. He had 1 sack, right? And I think like when you look at just how Russell Wilson's playing, he's playing way more conservative. That escapability that you said was going to lead to sacks, it got him out of probably 4 or 5 this last game. So I think he's playing more conservative. They're insulating him more. It's harder because the time to throw is so low in that offense. So I think it's going to be under 2 sacks this week.
I can't believe it.
I'm going to go high. I'm going to go with Fred.
Of course you're going to go high. You guys are so positive.
I think every week it changes, you know, and that offense sucked. It stunk, you know, last week. So I'm sure that Russell was going to try to cook. He's familiar with playing against us. Just the way that our front, you know, guys have been playing, especially Sweat. Sweat is on one. We told you coming into that week.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be a nice time this
His
week.
sack in the game was 3.2 seconds, right? The average time to throw in that last game for Denver was 2.3.
Hey, you got your version, and I got the truth.
I hear you, but I ain't feeling you.
And Santana, you know, we're going to start with you because we're going to go to Russell Wilson now. Will he have over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns? He's going to have over 20 yards, 2 touchdowns. High or low?
Low. He's not going to have that much. I think, you know, look, I'm one of those guys. I'm going to say that probably at least he can probably reach 200. He didn't get 200 last week. I think our defense is a lot better than the defense that he faced. I would say probably borderline at 200, but I don't think I'm going to go above it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not above. I think, like, I agree with Santana. All of his good skill position players or his dynamic skill position players are out. Greg Dulcich, Jared Judy, Tim Patrick, all gone. The offense is crazy conservative. I think they're going to rely, like, they're playing a defensive football game here. They're trying to be in a one-score game, let the defense keep him in it, make plays in the red zone when they have to. So I think they don't need him to throw for a lot of yards. Rely on the defense, rely on the rushing attack. Keep him from making any colossal mistakes. I think that leads you under 200.
Well, you know what?
Especially with Emmanuel Forbes in the back end.
That's what I'm saying. You know what? Like the great man Flo Rida said, low, 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 low. And that's where I'm going because at the end of the day, I think this defense, like you brought up, all of his guys, the wide receivers, all these guys are hurt right now. So you're going to go against a stout defense without your weapons and you think he's going to go over 200? I do not see it happening. And like you just said, I give you the props on that.
Thank you.
But Sean Payton is going to play a defensive and special teams type game 100%. And make sure the offense doesn't blow the game. So I'm going under 200. Thank you, Flo Rida.
Now, I'm going to be honest. Flo Rida was not on my bingo card for today. I did not know that was coming, man. What a reference. Now, Logan, I'm going to go to you because you mentioned the rushing game, right?
Okay.
Now, our rushing attack will get over 100 yards. We only had 92 against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
High or low, we will get over 100 yards.
I mean, after watching that Denver defense, I'm going to say low. I think with EB and his philosophy and how he wants to attack defenses, I think when you look at Patrick Surtain, you look at Simmons in the back end, those are excellent pieces. But that other corner, number 27, is a mismatch. And I just have visions. Last night I went to bed dreaming of Jahan Dotson cooking that man. So I think you're going to exploit that matchup as much as you can. And I think that front for them, for Denver, is good. Their 2 inside linebackers are good. They got a stout front that's very quick and athletic. I don't think you want to be banging your head against that wall too long. Let's exploit that matchup. Let's get Jahan a whole bunch of touches. Let's get him 20 catches. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that done.
What? My God.
I'm in it, man. Yeah. I'm in it.
What about you?
But I'm saying that matchup, that guy had a hard game against
You know what? The one thing about him, he's very factual in his delivery, and he can make you believe that aliens do exist, and they might do exist. But at the end of
pictures now.
I understand. I believe in that. But I also believe that we'll get 100 yards because I believe Coach BM is going to go in there and say, you know what? We need to flip the script this week. We need to set up the pass by running the ball. And I know they ran into this brick wall last week, but at the end of the day, I think you have to figure out ways to open up the pass game, and the best way to do it is through play action. And the only way I'm falling for play action is if you're running the ball.
Was I tripping last week? They didn't have a hard time throwing the football. There were open guys all over the field. So, like, why do I need to run the ball if guys are open?
Well,
if I've got good
because
concepts?
now you just said it. I'm going against Justin Simmons. I'm going against Pat Surtain. This ain't the defensive backfield from Arizona.
2 of 4 is not a good ratio.
No.
But come on, we also got Terry limping into this game. He's not 100%. You got Dotson, but Curtis Samuel, that's how Curtis Samuel ends up being the team's leading receiver by stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna have to side with Logan.
I
think we won't go over 100 yards rushing, but I think there's gonna be ways that we get to our run game by just getting those guys the ball outside of the. You know, look, those guys can catch the ball at the backfield. That's something that we didn't see a lot of last week. When you watch the film, it was a lot of times that he could have just checked down to those guys. So I think we get to our run game in a different fashion, but not rushing the ball over 100 yards.
All right, Fred, I'm going to start with you because you talk about that
You're a
secondary.
smart man.
Listen, you know, so I'm trying to just, break bread with everybody. You know what I mean?
And
they have your back earlier, so I got your back now.
a lot of love, right? This is a lopsided show right now. I just want to let you know.
Well, so listen, we know we're going against that secondary you mentioned.
Yeah.
Sam Howell throws for 200 yards.
Yeah.
High or low?
I'm not going with Flow Rider this time. I'm going up. All the way up.
All the way up.
At the end of the day, I'm going up because I, believe in Sam Howell. And you know what? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And this is what I do know. Since Sam Howell been the quarterback here, we're 5-0. That's including the preseason. Sam don't know how I feel to lose. All right? And it might just be the new ownership because they ain't lost either. We 4-0 since they've been here. So at the end of the day, I'm going Sam Howell over 200 yards. And don't forget the after end up there too. That ball travels through that air right there. So Sam Howell going for 290. You heard what I said.
Yeah, so we're 5-0 or whatever. I don't
No,
even know.
you count the preseason. Since Sam started, he beat the Cowboys last year. He's never lost as a Washington football player. He has never lost.
All right, I think he's going to be over as well for some of the matchups that we talked about before. I think when you've got the skill position players that this group has, when you've got the backs that this group has, I think the way that EB has shown he wants to execute a game plan, he's going to get plenty of opportunities. I think they're going to be able to protect a little bit better than they were last week. Everyone thinks of Denver, Von Miller. Those guys are all gone. Randy Gregory didn't rush well. Let's let Sam cook a little bit. I'm with Smoot. That's going to be
we all on the same boat. I think that he's going to go over there. I believe that you have the guys on the outside. Whoever you line up in front of those guys, we're going to get to those guys. Logan Thomas had a game where you can say it wasn't quite himself.
He was rusty.
But he had a little rust on him, but it was also a wet game. It was one of those games where I could have saw myself in his shoes, dropping a couple of passes because it was messy outside. Yeah. So I think we're going to get back to getting him the ball. Those guys outside, we know we left a lot out there. When you watch that film, you can just look at it and say, we're going to be better. So I'm glad we got a chance to get a win out of a poor performance. Those guys are going to have a lot more they're going to be on edge a lot more. The passing game should be our main thing, and I believe he'll go over 200 easy.
Well, fellas, I've enjoyed hearing y'all break down this matchup, but who I'm really looking forward to hearing is my dog, London Fletcher. London, what you got for us today?
It's time to set the tone. Brought to you by Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. Thanks, Brian. It's time to set the tone. And when you're going on the road, you better bring your run game and your defense. And my boys, they're traveling out there better than Louis Vuitton luggage. The offensive linemen, you got to be dominant going against this Denver Broncos defensive front. Open up some huge gaping holes for Brian Robinson Jr., Chris Rodriguez, and Antonio Gibson. The defense, you definitely know you got to bring it on the road. I need Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, James Smith-Williams. I need all of you guys to go out there and impose your will on Russell Wilson and those Broncos. And you know I got to talk about my linebackers because linebackers set the tone. Linebackers set the tempo. Cody Barton and Jamin Davis, you got to be on top of your game to set that tone. Let's flip to my offensive guys, the receivers. And I'm talking about one guy in particular, Terry, you're going to be facing Patrick Surtain Jr., a young and upcoming cornerback for the Denver Broncos. They're going to have him following you around, but you have to show him why we call you Scary Terry. That's the key to setting the tone on the road. Brian, the tone has been set.
It's time for Air Power, presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Wow, 300 catches. What a career milestone for Terry. And speaking of Terry, he's out on the practice field, and so are our guys. Guys, what are y'all seeing down there?
Ryan, thanks so much. Logan Paulson here. Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, London Fletcher, always a pleasure to be down here, guys. This is your Field Pass brought to you by FedEx, where now meets next. Fletch, you know, one of the things that came out of the game, a lot of criticism faced towards the offensive line. I personally didn't think they played that poorly. I thought they did all right. You know, it's kind of a young quarterback. Thought they ran the ball okay. Yeah. But this week versus Denver, very, very different situation, right?
Yes.
I mean, watching that film of Denver versus Oakland, versus Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those boys are getting after it. What do you see for this group? What are some challenges that Denver?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up that Denver defensive front. They held the Raiders to 2.1 yards rushing on 29 carries.
Yeah.
It's going to be a major challenge to try to run the ball against this defense, that defense. But what I do see is there's some opportunities, and there were some opportunities for Jacobs to have more production in the run game. What the Raiders' offensive line didn't do enough of. They were so worried about the double team mauling their defensive front. Yeah. They didn't work up to the second level to the linebackers, and the linebackers were able to just run free, make a bunch of tackles. I'm sure as we're game planning for them, they'll see opportunities. Hey, get off the double team, work to the second level, get a body on a body, and let Brian Robinson make it up to that second level. Let him break some tackles. Let Chris Rodriguez get through that first wave, so to speak. Let Antonio Gibson get up to those first wave. And when you look at that game against the Cardinals last Sunday, when we made a commitment to running the football,
we did it.
That's when the offensive line was at their best, and they like to fire off the ball and run it.
Well, the great thing about offensive line, you can't cook it on the stovetop. You got to bake it. And when you baking something, it takes time. I'm sorry.
What is that, grandma's cooking?
Yeah, grandma's cooking.
Not the microwave,
when you sprinkle a little love in there, it take a little time for them to jail. But let's be honest, guys. This was this group's first game together.
Yeah, right.
Like, until they go to war with each other, they're not going to learn how to get each other back. And I think they're going to jail. I thought Nick Gates came out. I thought he got on the second level, and he's just mean and nasty. I like nasty. I thought Sam Cosmi had the game. And Sadiq Charles, beside the penalty and the one sack he gave up.
I mean, where he got tripped by Brian Robinson. But I think, to your point, very solid by that interior group, right?
Yeah. Tell me this, though. Do you think it's something do you think it's vital for us to emphasize the run early and often, more so the pass game?
Yeah, and the reason why I say yes is,
I mean, Fletch is old school in this regard.
No. The reason I when you talk about going on the road, two things that travel when you go on the road that you can always count on, or you should always be able to count on: your run game and your defense. So those two things, they traveling like Louis Vuitton luggage. Road, your run defense and your run game and your defense.
And to that point, I think you brought up a great point there. Like, one of the things about this Sean Payton offense, this Joe Lombardi offense, is they want to kind of keep it slow, keep it methodical. They don't want to put too much on Russell Wilson. So that affords you offensively to say, hey man, we can be a little bit more conservative. We can punt, we can lean on Tressway, we can do some different things that maybe aren't like high flying and super sexy offensively. Lean on this rushing attack. And like you said, Fred, all those guys are super athletic and super quick. And I will say, when you watch that film, Fletch, those linebackers for Denver are super quick to the football. So it's nice to have some athletes to match them, because I felt like Las Vegas, they got some big old hosses in there, and they couldn't quite match the athleticism of those linebackers.
Well, there's two things to help you, especially on the road, take the other crowd out of the game. And like Fletch said, it's most definitely the run game, but at the end of the day, I think you establish that run game to keep Russell Wilson on the sideline. Like the best way to stop a quarterback is to force him to watch as much of the game as you watch. Yeah. And then in the end of it, the way you do that is through the running game. Like you methodically, and if you look at the Raiders game, they didn't have but I think 55 plays on offense.
Yeah.
Like
it wasn't a lot.
It was like 56, 55.
It wasn't a lot of plays. So if we're going to be in that type of situation, yes, you want to run the game, you want to plug it up, and you want to muck it up and make it dirty.
That game was almost close on every level.
Yeah.
As far as plays, yards, you name it. They had almost identical numbers.
10 stats, all identical.
And the one thing that just stood up more was, the Denver defense stopped these guys from running the ball, but at the end of the day, they still lost the game.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So you just got to come away and find a way to go out there and get the job done.
I was also Jacobs. There was a time they gave him the ball in the red zone, maybe about the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
They run a counter OF.
Yeah.
And if he had been just a half a second more patient and stayed up on the inside,
the one that got stuffed,
he bounced it outside. But if he just stays on that on the hip of that tight end that's pulling around, he walks in for a touchdown.
Yep.
Well, it's early for everybody, right? But man, I can't wait to see if these guys can get after this Denver front, which looked pretty good week 1. I think they can. I think they got the right kind of mindset. Fred, Brian, can't wait to check it out. Back to you.
Appreciate y'all, fellas. It's always good to see y'all out on that field in y'all element. So, guys, while we wait for them to come back to the studio, we're going to send it to 2 legends, Rick Doc Walker and Doug Williams, as they talk about their teammates from those historic Super Bowl teams. It's Chopping It Up, presented by DC Prime, Loudoun's premier steakhouse. For dinner reservations or private dining, call 703-840-2099.
Here's a punter, I'll never forget that in Chicago. And he, Joe was so conservative. And I love Wayne Sevier, God rest his soul. He's the best motivator I've ever been around. And Joe never cursed, and Joe would tell us what we had to do and 3 things and all that. He'd leave. Joe's so smart, because he always would leave. He knew what was going to happen. He'd leave, and all H would break out. Pete Cronin, we had Pete Cronin. Red Wings, man, it was people smashing things up against walls, breaking glasses. And Joe said, be smart. We're not kicking it to Willie Gault. And then he left. Of course, Wayne said, with that, we're kicking it straight to him, and we're going to kick his, you know what? I'm going to kick off team. We're running down. I ain't never had a dude run past me so fast in my life. This dude, he was so fast. All of a sudden, it's like boom, boom, dude gone. You feel like you got lead feet. He scores. We come to the sideline. Joe, the look on Joe's face. And poor Wayne, what you gonna say? Nothing.
I told you don't kick it.
Don't kick it. He kicked, he scored. Then the punter gets hurt on the process. We need a punter. Joe, Joe, I got it. I can do this. And Joe went out there. 1 yard later on the punt, I swear to God, this all happened in the game. We're 0-5. And this is happening. And then, but we won. We won the game, first game. And that started to roll. Always so, where were you at when this 12-year run of greatness started? It was right there.
Right there.
It was always great to see legends chop it up, especially when it's about former teammates. Now, y'all legends. You had some former teammates there. You always laugh when I call you a legend. Brother, you're a legend.
Yes, you are.
Command center, you a legend. Now, former teammate, RG3 was there in the building week 1, man. How was it to see him in the reception we got?
Bobby 3-6. I thought it was great to see him, man. He was a huge part of this team for a very short amount of time. It's great to see him and his daughters on the field, and everyone kind of give him their support. So that was
unbelievable. Haven't seen him in person in a while, since probably 2014. I see him on TV every day. You know what I mean? So it was great seeing him, though.
But Sonny Jones, that's my dude. Good to always see Sonny. Ain't never a bad time to see Sonny.
That's a good bunch of people to be with.
Yeah, it is. And like y'all pointed out, it was a star-studded affair week 1. I got to ask y'all. Y'all been there. Y'all had the helmets on. Do y'all notice when this happens? Do y'all notice when there's celebrities in the building? Do y'all turn y'all game a little bit? Thinking Rihanna gonna be watching y'all? Thinking Naomi Campbell gonna be looking at you saying, "Does it turn up a little bit?"
I come from those backwoods where
Miami's already star-studded.
Star-studded. So yeah, I'm used to it.
But not me. I'm from Mississippi. Anytime I played in New York, I knew Beyonce was watching that game, so I brought my best game.
It's always cool when guys like this come out and watch.
And then what about you see the guys like Joel Embiid, you see the guys like Kevin Durant, basketball players come in, and maybe that's part of magic, right? Bring these basketball basketball players in to enjoy some football. How cool is that?
Now, sports love sports.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. We all support each other.
You guys gonna skip over Ovechkin?
Skip over
Ovechkin's right here, man.
Yeah.
He's an icon in the area. That's great when they come out and support the team. And then your boy, look at that.
Wale.
And Portis, man. I know that guy. Is that Wale?
Washington Wale is right there.
Portis is one of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you got Wale right there representing the team.
What's up with that hat? Oh, man, it's
You gotta love it. Yeah, you gotta love it.
It always is crazy when he comes because he's like 7'1", man.
Yeah,
And he just, like,
he's
towers
huge.
over
And why
everybody.
don't basketball players care what they wear? Like basketball players just show up.
Stop.
Just wake up and throw a shirt on, throw pants on, and just show up. Look at MB, just showed up.
Did you see him?
Yeah, I did. How could you miss him? He's 7 feet tall.
So you gotta understand too, a lot of those guys, they have the connection from the 76ers.
Yeah.
Josh Harris, connection with the 76ers.
Absolutely.
So it's great to see all those guys come out, man.
Man, it was great to see them all there for week 1, and it's great to hang out with y'all, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all for joining Command Center. We will be back at 3:30 for Game Day Live.
Tonight, Dad came with. He didn't want his little sweet potato to be here without him. But now, he really wishes she was here without him. Next time, he'll just let her roll with her new entourage. And he'll only trust SeatGeek with the tickets. Because when she finds her happy place, he can find his way back to the car. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.